Welcome back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. In the last part we started the post-game and lots of things happened, but most importantly perhaps is that we recruited Smeargle who can now change our flag. So let's give this a go and see what it's all about. Pricious waved the flag and sent a signal to Smeargle. Hello, sorry to keep you waiting. You wish to change the flag's design, correct? Which design would you like? Oh, there's quite a few options here. I feel like it was random in the original game. There wasn't really any way that you could influence it as far as I know. At least you didn't get the choice like this. Let it be known that you should never give me a choice because I will be sitting here for hours trying to decide. I'm gonna go with this one. Poison is my favorite type, so I'm gonna go with the coughing one. I may be unknown, but nonetheless I am an artist. I will dedicate myself to creating a fantastic new design. Here we go. Vigorously paints. Ta-da! This may sound like I'm blowing my own horn, but it's quite the art, don't you think? Quite the art indeed. Yep, this'll do for now, thanks. I wonder if there's the ability to get more different flag designs. Let's see if I can change it up quite often. That would be kind of fun to do, I think. Number 29, Castform's Daily Weather. Today the weather over Pokemon Square promises to be clear, with no chance of showers. Other regions can expect showers followed by clouds. There may be sun breaks depending on the day's moods. I think other regions probably will have some rain because I know where we're heading today. It's time to go out to the Stormy Sea. We have 13 hunger. 12 hunger between the three of us right now. This is really not good. One step at a time. There are the stairs. Shouldn't have taken the money. Really shouldn't have taken the money. That's it. We can't go any further forward. If I take a single step, Ashley will faint, and then Pricious will faint with another step. Probably should have escape orbed a long time ago. Okay, that didn't go to plan. But I went away, and I got stronger, and here's a brief montage of the things that happened in between then and now, before I go over how the team has changed. You can make Final Island now! What is that? Only one Pokemon can stay there. This Island of Legend may not even exist. It hovers on the horizon and disappears suddenly as if it were a mirage. Deoxys? From Buying Friend areas, Desert Region, Southern Cavern, and the Dark Knight Relic are available for exploration. There we go. Rank up. We are now Gold rank. Camp capacity, job limit, editable teams, all increased. Toolbox size stays the same. 5 rainbow gummies, 10 accuracy drinks, and x-ray specs. Nice. And we also got the Mime Jr. statue to go alongside the Bonsly statue, I guess. The statue of Mime Jr. will be erected near the bulletin board. Go see it tomorrow, who knows? Maybe Mime Jr. will be attracted by the statue and show up in a dungeon. Aw, there they are. That's cute. I don't know if the Mime Jr. statue was in the original game. For some reason, these two look like they're good buddies. I'm sure they are. Oh no, Munchlax! They'll get there. Just give them some time. You did it. Well done. Good job, Munchlax. Okay, Pricious, Ashley, and Discord are all now level 40. I used almost all of my training dojo tickets for that. I used some TMs and the Move Tutor feature that I discovered that Gulpin has to teach Pricious Sludge Bomb and Grass Pledge, and I taught Ashley Fire Pledge. If Ashley uses Fire Pledge while Pricious is in range to use Grass Pledge on the same target, they'll combo together and create a Sea of Fire. dealing damage over time to all Pokemon in the room, which sounds pretty powerful. Discord's moves have remained the same, but he has leveled up to 40, and I have prepared Biollante the Roselia. Her moves are the same as when we got her, but I changed her rare quality from Food Finder to Steamroll. Steamroll means that any move, regardless of its type matchup against the opponent, will do at least neutral damage, which is really, really good when you consider that Petal Blizzard is a room-wide AoE, just like Discharge. She also has the ability Natural Cure, which will allow us to heal off status conditions sometimes, which could be helpful in saving items. And so the team I'm going to be using for Stormy Sea this time is going to be Pricious, Biollante, and Discord. Ashley is going to sit this one out. She's a fire type, so Stormy Sea is not really the best place for her to be. And it's also important to note that we do have the option to do this now. We can leave either Pricious or Ashley behind if we need to. I feel a little bit better about our chances now, so let's go. It's time for Stormy Sea round 2. And immediately there is Petal Blizzard. Wasn't enough to take out the Tentacruel over there, but fortunately Biollante also has Energy Ball. So she's got a few different options. And something that's really cool is that moves that are shared between team members share their rank as well. So Energy Ball is already almost rank 4, if it can get to rank 4. I don't even know if it can. But it's already rank 3 with a lot of progress through it. Because we've had it on Pricious for so long. And Sludge Bomb will grow at double the rate because both Biollante and Pricious have it. And let's Energy Ball you. So already we're dealing a little bit better. I have no doubt that I cut out the vast majority of my first attempt of this dungeon. But we were not doing nearly as much damage as we are now. Why would you use... Oh, right. Steamroll means we can use whatever moves we like against the Tentacruel. Since it's part poison type, it resists grass. Discord, I still have Discharge turned off for him because I don't want him using it willy-nilly. And I think I'm going to do the same with Biollante. I'm going to pilot Biollante for a while, but if it gets to the point where I'm going to be using either Pricious or Discord, I will turn Petal Blizzard off because I don't want her using it on single targets from across the room. There's just no reason to do that. But I'm looking forward to getting big AoE combos of Discharge and Petal Blizzard. Plus the fact that we have Steamroll means we're going to get through things very, very easily. Nice, an all-power up orb. I've been looking for one of those. Have not been able to get one, but that should make the boss easier as well. The only thing that we're lacking by bringing Biollante and Discord instead of Ashley is we don't have Brawl anymore, which is a shame. I really do like Brawl, but I think what we have instead makes up for it. So Ashley's going to sit this one out. It's fine. I'm sure she'll be back in earnest later on in the game. But this is something that this game allows you to do, because Pokemon gain experience while they're in the rescue camps, and because there are so many ways to increase your power with rare qualities and having access to much more in the way of moves as compared to the original games. I can just do this. I can bring Biollante on for this dungeon, and then she can go back to the rescue camp, and we can bring someone else to the next one, and we can always have the best team composition, because we have recruited a lot of Pokemon, and we're actually getting the opportunity to use them a lot more in this game compared to the original or in Explorers of Sky, which I like a lot. Okay, that shoulder is still hanging on in there, but it's fine. Oh, we missed. Maybe I could use accuracy and PP ups on Energy Ball and Sludge Bomb, because now they're shared between Biollante and Pricious, we get extra value out of that. I've been holding on to them just in case a situation like this occurred, and I feel like we're probably going to keep Energy Ball on Pricious forever, so there's no reason not to, and now it gets extra returns as well. Is that... I can't tell what these Pokemon are when they're lying down on the floor like that. I wanted to say it was a Dratini, but I think it's actually an Ekans. All I know is it's long. So, let's talk post-game. I've mentioned a couple of times how I've been looking forward to the post-game because it gives you the ability to experience the battle system in this game in its fullest. You're no longer necessarily having to learn things about the game. It is a Dratini. Here, have an apple. I don't think we can recruit you, though. Yeah, you have Notorious Healing as well. That's really good. Well, you know my policy, I'm afraid. This is a major dungeon, so we're going to leave Dratini behind. A heal ribbon. Oh, that's another point I should make. Is Discord now has an efficient bandana, as does Biolante. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to use them because that just means we have to carry less ethers and such around. Or at least use less. I still have a bunch of them because I know this dungeon's going to be really long. But yeah, you can already see with what I've done with the team here why I enjoy the post-game of Mystery Dungeon games so much. I get the ability to do things like this and really experiment. And I have a couple of ideas for things I would like to do with the team, which are tied into a Pokemon that I actually recruited while I was grinding. Okay, you're not protected anymore, good. So we actually recruited... Oh. Shelter wants to tag along, but I'm afraid we can't recruit you. I actually managed to recruit a Torkoal with Drought in Lapis Cave earlier, and that's amazing. I'm just going to talk about it. I kind of wanted to keep it as a surprise, but you know what? I'll talk about it. Why not? It gives me something to talk about while we're going through this dungeon. I have the idea to build a Sun team, I suppose. We have a Fire type and a Grass type as our 2 main members in Pricious and Ashley, and they will both be able to benefit greatly from the sun. Pricious has the ability to... Oh, hello. Nope, Bountiful Sea. Sorry, can't recruit you. Pricious can learn Growth and Synthesis and Solar Beam, which all benefit from sunny weather conditions, as well as Ashley just being a Fire type, benefiting from the sun in that way. We have a Drought Torkoal, who could synergize with Pricious and Ashley really, really well. That's definitely something I want to try out at some point, since we now have all of the pieces to make that work. It would mean mixing up Precious's moves quite a lot. We'd probably have to get rid of either Sleep Powder or maybe Sludge Bomb or Grass Pledge. But we can do that. There's no reason not to just switch up moves. There's no penalty for it, because it doesn't cost money. You can just forget and remember moves as much as you like, as long as you're outside of a dungeon. So the ability to just go to a dungeon, do something, go to another dungeon, do something completely different, is something that this game really shines for, and it's something I really love about it. Okay, let's give Discord the chance to do something. He's not really done anything this dungeon. Everyone wants to tag along, I'm sorry. I really should have picked up the Bountiful Sea, shouldn't I? Hey, level up. 41 for Pricious. Another point about the fact that I use the Makuhita Dojo a lot is that Ashley actually caught up in levels with Pricious for the first time in a very, very long time, if ever. Meaning that even though Pricious is here getting more experience, because she's in the dungeon, Ashley shouldn't fall too drastically far behind, at least. Right then, Vulpix. Do I want to help you out? We don't have a Vulpix. Food Finder, Darkness Ridge. Okay, welcome aboard. Try and stay safe in this dungeon full of water types. Wish we could just send you straight back to base. I wish we could do that. Another thing you may have noticed that I haven't gotten around to mentioning yet is that I'm now playing on the fast movement speed. I feel like I'm a little bit more used to the controls of this game now, and it should speed things up at least a little bit, particularly as these dungeons are getting longer and longer. There are 40 floors in the Stormy Sea, and I know that there are several even longer dungeons ahead, as is tradition with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Maybe I should turn Petal Blizzard off like I said I would. A Credilli, wow. That is a Pokemon I have not seen in any way, shape, or form for a very long time. I feel like the last time I even saw a Credilli in a Pokemon game was the last time I played Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because Steven has one. It's not a very common Pokemon. I don't know why I used Wild Charge there. Oh, and then I used Discharge after it had already fainted. I should pay more attention to what I'm doing, is the lesson to learn here. There's Petal Blizzard. That's quite well resisted by the Tentacruel because it used Barrier. But that's the power of both Discharge and Petal Blizzard. 2 in a row. One of them missed, though. Okay, let me take charge of Biolante so she doesn't use all of her Petal Blizzards here. We can Sludge Bomb you. Haven't needed to use Shadow Ball yet, but it's nice to have that type advantage. Kinda don't want to use my Big Apple, but I'm gonna do it anyway because Credilli is cool. Can we recruit you? No, we can't. Deep Sea Floor is another one we need to pick up. Okay, I kind of regret using that apple, but this Vulpix has Food Finder, so we should be alright. We should be able to get some tiny apples to keep us filled up. Oh, whoops. That's gonna continue to happen. No reason not to use Sludge Bomb, though. I'll stop that. Precious, handle this, please. I hate this game sometimes. I really, really hate this game sometimes. I'm turning Petal Blizzard off. I said I would do it. I didn't do it and I was punished for it. Gosh darn it. I had to grind for these 4 Reviver Seeds I have in my inventory. The game is quite stingy on them, to be honest. Is there an enemy nearby? Oh, it's a seal in here. You know what? We have Overgrowth. We should be able to... We didn't have Overgrowth! Go away. The game is quite stingy on Reviver Seeds, it feels. I had a lot, I used a lot, and now I don't have any, pretty much. It's just... It seems they gave them out a lot in the early game, particularly the tiny ones, and I managed to stock up a lot, but once I'd used them all, I didn't have any left because at some point they just stopped giving them out. So I had to do a couple of missions, get some as rewards. And I only managed to get 3 regular Reviver Seeds and 1 tiny Reviver Seed, of which 2 have already been used. Got a Carbos, that's pretty good. I really wish our recruits wouldn't pick fights like that. I wish they would just run away, but we have no control over that. There is a... What was it? A Kingler on this floor, but I don't know if I have any apples. Oh, we did pick up a tiny apple. Let's use that then. We might as well. We're probably not going to be able to recruit it, but it is only a tiny apple. If I don't have any tiny apples, I won't try to recruit any Pokemon from now on, because I think we do need to hold on to our regular apples, or our big apples and perfect apples. Sorry, Slowpoke. You can't tag along. We're probably not going to be able to recruit Kingler. It seems that we've got the friend areas for the freshwater Pokemon, but not the sea Pokemon. Oh, for goodness sake. Alright. Fortunately, I have a solution for this. Where are you? Switch a wand. Go. Get in there, Discord. I really like the wands. The amount of strategic diversity that the wands provide, the amount of saving my butt situations that they have they've offered so far. Wait a second. I have a wand for this. Haha! Let's Petal Blizzard these guys. 2 in a row, and this time it doesn't knock out any of my team members. Nice. Who levels up? Discord levels up. 41. Stop that. Something I've learnt about Rest in the last couple of dungeons is that it doesn't heal the user immediately. You have to wait for the effect to finish before you get the heal, which I feel is a lot more balanced. I'm not sure if it would just become a completely useless move if they made it work like that in the main series, but I think that would certainly be an interesting change to make. I also think it suits the format of Mystery Dungeon a lot better than if it was just an instant heal. I feel like that would be way too powerful. Where is this Kingler? There it is. A rare quality orb. Cool. Here, have a tiny apple. Shallow Beach. Yeah, we can't recruit you. Alright, so I'm not going to bother trying to recruit any water-type Pokemon that we run into anymore because I'm pretty sure we just don't have the friend areas for any of them. I really need to restore Energy Balls PP. Let me do that. I'm not going to get caught slacking again. Let's do it with Discord's turn. The last time I said I would do something and I didn't do it, I ended up using a Reviver Seed. So, lesson learned. So far, I feel like this is going a little bit smoother, except for that little mistake with the 2 Reviver Seeds being used. Overall, this has still been going smoother than my first attempt. We made it to the 31st floor, I believe, in the last attempt. Oh, I didn't need to do that. I think Petal Blizzard has a high crit ratio as well. Let me check that, because if it does, that makes it even cooler. It's always a move that I've liked, because it's relatively niche. Not a lot of Pokemon can learn it or use it effectively. It doesn't have a high crit rate, no. Okay, slightly less cool. But I'm a fan of some of the more brawly grass types. Lurantis, Leavanny, Pokemon like that. So anything that can use Petal Blizzard is generally a Pokemon that I quite like. Roselia and Roserade are 2 Pokemon that I've liked for a very long time as well. I've never really been a fan of the more status, defensive-focused grass types. Stop that. Wait, we can't hit you. But Pricious can hit you. But again, Mystery Dungeon has kind of, not necessarily changed my mind, but it's opened my eyes a little bit more to being able to use more defensive-orientated, more utility-focused grass types, because that's effectively what Precious is. I mean, she does have a lot of damage options, but she certainly packs that utility, which is nice to have. Where are these stairs? I feel like, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before. Oops. Well, we better be able to take you out with this energy ball. Okay, I'm not going to take the risk. I want to hold on to this Vulpix if I can. Hang on in there. Are you kidding me? It missed! I think it's safe to say I've completely lost my sanity from the last 2 dungeons of this game. I'm not sure if the game is necessarily difficult. It's just the random element in this game that really... And I suppose it is a roguelike thing. Random chance is a very important element of the game. And sometimes a move missing or a move hitting or a crit or something like that can make all the difference. It is the nature of a roguelike game, so I can't get too mad about it. It's something that makes it more interesting. Pokemon as an RPG, the main series games, is very meticulous, or at least you can choose to play it very meticulously. And I do, where everything is calculated, you know exactly how every turn is going to play out, particularly at the highest level and in professional play and such. You can pretty much follow a flowchart to get the best outcomes in the main series games. There's so much more random chance and random elements in the Mystery Dungeon games. It's a really nice departure from that kind of static formula of the main series. Which is a reason that I enjoy it, and I do enjoy playing roguelikes. I don't play enough roguelikes, to be honest. Mystery Dungeon is probably my biggest exposure to them, and it's certainly not the most definitive of roguelikes. I think there are other games out there, and I'm sure that roguelike fans out there would have plenty of suggestions for me to play that perhaps fit the genre a little bit more. Another roguelike that I loved is Rogue Legacy, which again it's definitely a roguelike, but perhaps not the most definitive of roguelikes. But I played that game very extensively, and I'm very happy to hear that they're making a sequel as well. Sphere wants to join us, but I'm afraid you cannot. This Vulpix is becoming really heavy, to tell the truth. I don't know if I want to hold on to her. That was a very big room with nothing in it. Okay, another energy wall for you. Good crit. Remoraid wants to join. Man, Squad Up is really good. I was actually thinking about maybe swapping Squad Up out for a more combat-focused rare quality. And that's something that's really interesting about the rare qualities in this game. This is a max elixir, right? That definitely goes to Violante. Yeah, the rare qualities make this game very interesting, and something about them that I'm not sure whether I like more or dislike compared to IQ traits is that they are there from the beginning of the game. And I suppose that ties into the difficulty of this game and the difficulty curve, is that you have access to rare qualities at their full strength from the beginning of the game, whereas IQ traits you really have to work for. You have to constantly be feeding your Pokemon gummies over and over and over again, building up that IQ to get more and more better traits. Where are you going? Oh, there's a loot box there. That's where you're going. We are of the same mind, Discord. Okay, let's swap out something. We're probably never going to bother cleansing this cleanse orb, which is kind of ironic. Wow, rude. So, yeah, I think... Let's do this. I think the game is certainly balanced around a lot of the new features, but it's nice to have that feeling of strength from getting a rare quality in the early stages of the game that's really good, like Steamroll, for example. And we got Squad Up very early, which is very, very nice for progression. But it feels like some of them are really, really good, and some of them just... They're nice added bonuses, but it feels like there's a bit of a meta, a bit of a tier list, where Steamroll is really, really good. Squad Up is really, really good for progression, and there are some other ones that I feel like are really, really strong. Brawl as well feels really good. But other ones are just like nice added bonuses. And IQ traits, they weren't very well explained in the game, they weren't very well implemented, but I did like that kind of RPG element of constantly getting stronger with them, and there was a much steeper curve, I suppose, in the Explorers games with those, because you started at the beginning of the game with nothing, effectively. And... let's energy pool you. Let's miss, that's fine. Maybe I should have just walked up and intercepted that damage. We really are playing the Protect the Vulpix game right now. But again, I've talked about a lot of the differences between this game and the Explorers games. The fact that they are so different is great, because it gives me a reason to go and replay the older games, and that's something I think Pokemon does in general very, very well, even in the main series. Though I'm not the biggest fan of the newer games, from Generation 6 onwards, really, that's where I feel like they started to go downhill. I can still enjoy each game for what it's worth, for what it does uniquely, what it does a little bit differently to the other games. I do struggle to play X and Y, though. I think Generation 6 is the weakest generation of the games that I've played, which is every generation except for Generation 1. Those are the games I struggle to go back to the most. But other than that, I love playing Generation 5 because of the story, because I feel like it has the smoothest, slickest battle mechanics. I love the world as well, I love the Unova region. But going back to Hoenn, going to Sinnoh as well, and having those bigger regions with more exploration, and particularly Sinnoh's difficulty appeals to me as well. How most of that region feels like an endurance test, making sure you've always got the right items and you're always prepared for a battle, because they will spring boss battles on you at the most inopportune moment. Barry. I love Sun and Moon, actually. I love the story of the original Sun and Moon. I liked what they did with the formula, switching it up, making it a little bit different. Let's just Petal Blizzard you. How much damage does that do? Yeah, Sludge Bomb's more. I feel like the AoE moves have generally lower damage because they hit everything. Whoops. Oh, you missed. That's fine. Whoa, you survived. Not many things survive a super effective wild charge from Discord. He's taking 1 point more recoil damage now than he did previously. It's a Pokemon trap. If a Pokemon steps on this trap, nearby items will transform into Pokemon. Well, that sucks. But it's okay, we'll just discharge you. Looks like it missed the Sphere. Well, let's just nip this in the bud, I suppose. Though that would have been a more appropriate phrasing if I'd used Petal Blizzard. But yeah, I really enjoyed what Sun and Moon did differently, and though I don't think they are definitively the best Pokemon games, it was nice to do something a little bit different, at least, with the Island Challenge instead of the gym format. And Sword and Shield introduced a lot of quality of life mechanics and such to the game, and I feel like the battling feels a little bit smoother in that game than some of the previous games. But yeah, each Pokemon game has its own merit and its own value, and that carries over to the Mystery Dungeon games as well, where I definitely have a reason to go back and play Explorers of Sky, even if it is a little bit less convenient, even if the game is a little bit more awkward to play at times, and in certain ways. The story is certainly something that would make me go back to it, and you could call it nostalgia, I suppose, but the older, more grindy style of gameplay also still appeals to me. I think I just have to be in a certain mindset to want to play it, and I have gone back to it and I've played it a little bit while I've been playing this game, just to get a real grasp on how it's different. And an efficient bandana, I do love efficient bandanas, but we have 3. We don't really need any more. What's this? A Cleanse Orb, we already have one of those. Yeah, so playing Explorers of Sky, getting a grasp on how it differs to this game. I struggled to make too much progress in it because I was a little bit spoiled by... this is not a good situation. I don't want it to Aurora Beam me again, so how about we just do this? See ya. That was the wrong wand. The Stay Away wand. It petrifies and warps them. That's what I wanted to do. Well, we're fortunate that it didn't Aurora Beam me. And we survived that. Oh, time to restore PP. We got a bunch of max elixirs, actually. Not as many max ethers. That's fine. Whoops. Okay. I should be alright. Let's have Violante handle this. Ah, you've got this. There's no way you miss, right? Now that is what we call tempting fate. Alright, let's take this slowly, step by step. Don't run into any enemies. Okay, I'm sure this is really annoying to watch, but I ran into an enemy. Fortunately, it didn't attack. I feel like the game is a bit more forgiving in that regard than some of the older games. I definitely got myself knocked out in inopportune scenarios from running straight into enemies in the past. Get out of here. There we go. Right, we've run out of PP for Energy Ball again. Definitely considering using those PP up drinks on Energy Ball. I'm sure there are scenarios where we'll want to use both Biollante and Pricious again in the future, so it could be very worthwhile to do that. And we brought Discord along, and he's really not been able to do much. This is a good scenario for Discharge. It missed. It missed both. There we go. I know it's an inaccurate move, but it does feel bad when it misses twice in a row on 2 targets. Biollante grew to level 42. Good stuff. Alright, give me that money. 20th floor. Halfway there. Man. I think I might just have to, like, cut this dungeon in half. I don't know what I want to do with this Grimer. We'll Wild Charge it. There we go. That's pretty good. I don't want this to be like an hour-long video, but it might have to be. We've been in here half an hour already, and we're only halfway done. My goodness. This is the post-game, I suppose. This is how it is. Well, we got a good streak of stairs, at least. That's going to help things out. Okay, Anorith down. You know what would be really nice is if we could find a Reviver Seed on the floor somewhere. I feel like we're probably gonna need more than 2 going on. I'm really annoyed that I used 2 by accident earlier, just from making a silly mistake. Well, to be fair, the first one wasn't my fault. Tiny apple, some money. You know what? Might as well eat this. We're not going to be using them to recruit anything, because I'm pretty sure we just can't recruit anything in this dungeon. But we might as well eat them. No sense in letting them go to waste. Vulpix is doing her best to find those. But yeah, I suppose it's just a little strange to me that I talked about how this game manages difficulty differently to the older games, in that it gives you lots of items and gives you lots of tools, but balances the game around that and still manages to make it challenging despite that. But now I kind of wish they gave out a few more Reviver Seeds. It is a little frustrating having to grind regular dungeons, knowing that I won't make progress unless I've got a few Reviver Seeds, and it seems like the Kecleon Shop just never stocks them. I kind of miss Spinder Cafe, actually. Honestly, Spinder Cafe was a really good feature in Explorers that I'm surprised there's nothing similar in this game. They streamlined the whole IQ process and things like that, certainly. But in general, I feel like Spinder Cafe could definitely see a bit of a comeback. The main feature that I'm missing is the Wobbuffet or Wynut trade-in, where you could trade items for certain items that you wanted. So if you had just junk items that you didn't need, you could trade them for good items, Reviver Seeds, and things like that. Without that, in this game, it certainly feels like there's a little bit less access to Reviver Seeds. And it is a bit strange in a game focused on not having you grind too much, that they removed a feature that was really good at meaning you didn't have to grind. So I can just straight up drink this, right? There's no reason not to. Because again, there's no Spinder Cafe in this game, there's no way to get extra benefits out of vitamins, they are what they are. That's a monster house. Right. I'm gonna prepare appropriately before we head in there. First of all, let's eat some food, because we're gonna need the inventory space. Discord, I need you at my back here. And let's turn discharge on. That's the wrong button. You ready for this? Oh, that's a lot of Grimer. Okay, I have great fear of this Omastar. But fortunately, we got rid of it. Whoa! That's scary. That's actually terrifying. Man, Discord, I need you to walk in here. And hopefully this doesn't happen again. Let's heal up Vulpix. Oh right, I turned Petal Blizzard off. I should turn it back on. Yeah, I perhaps didn't handle that situation the best I could. Discharge. Please hit that Grimer. Yes, it did. It paralyzed as well. No, there's Hydro Pump again! Discord! Maybe I should just use a Focil Orb. But you know, sunk cost fallacy and all. Get out of here. Stop missing. Please. Thank you. Well, we used a Reviver Seed. That's not what I wanted at all. An Apple Trap. If you step on it, one item in your toolbox will become a big apple. My All Protect Orb! No! I was hoping it would be a useless item that I didn't need. Why did it have to be the best item in my bag? Don't like this. Ooh. A Drought Orb. That could be really nice to have. We're gonna swap out this heal ribbon. We have a couple of ribbons that we don't really need. Escape Orb. I think we have one. I'm pretty sure we have one. I hope we have one. If not, at least we will have one. We do have one. Okay, that's fine. Rare Quality Orb, but that's not working. Let's Shadow Ball you, why not? I don't know why I did that. I mean, it would have been better to just use a Grass-type move, but we took it out anyway, nonetheless. We can move on. Spin Trap. Ah, Natural Cure kicked in. That's something we haven't been able to really see in action yet, but certainly means status problems aren't as much of a problem. Oh, an All Protect Orb. That's convenient. Nullify Bandana would be really good if we had a Slacking. We do not have a Slacking, however. Okay, I think we can now turn Discharge off. It did its job. I didn't handle moving into that monster house as well as I could have. But in the end, we got through. Okay. It is literally only money here. Let's move on. I like money, but I also like being able to proceed and not getting knocked out. Let's use another Max Ether. Even with the efficient bandana, we are still getting through things. You know what? I'm gonna hold off. Sludge Bomb isn't that useful. It's just kind of a go-to move when I don't necessarily need to do tons and tons of damage. So we'll hold off on it for now. Don't you do that. Don't you dare. Yeah, we'll hold off on restoring Sludge Bomb for the time being, and maybe use a Max Elixir later on, since we only have one Max Ether left, and I don't think Sludge Bomb is really the priority. Whoops. Damn, that did a lot of damage. Okay, wand time. My old habits of just switching to another Pokemon to take the hit don't necessarily work when the Pokemon next to me is a Vulpix that will probably get one-shot by anything. Okay, I'll give her a bit of credit. She hasn't really been one-shot by a whole lot of things. She actually survived the Omastar's Hydro Pump. So, credit to her for that, at least. Grimer seems to develop a kinship. We cannot bring you along, I'm afraid. Poison Swamp is something like 9,000 Poke, which I just can't afford right now, so... Oh, rude. Fortunately, we have tons and tons of apples, so let's eat this big one. Kinda wish we had that rare quality that stops traps from working. What's it called? Something to do with being light-footed, but not that verbatim. I'm amazed that the Omastar survive Energy Ball, being quad weak to it. That's actually crazy. As I said, we're certainly dealing with this dungeon better now than we did last time, but it's still being challenging. We've got a lot of damage, but it's not quite enough to one-shot things. We've got a lot of type coverage, we've got a lot of versatility, but in general, it's just not quite enough to make this an easy ride. And that's what I'm trying to say about this game, is there are lots and lots of ways to be strong, but the game is balanced around that. I do love loot. Let's swap out this efficient bandana. We don't need 4, since we can only have 3 party members that can hold items. That was not the Pokemon that I wanted to walk up and take that hit. Fortunately, we dealt with it. Another Omastar here. Maybe I should turn Grass Pledge off. Energy Ball just does more damage. Every time. I always go into the wrong menu when I do this. Let's turn Grass Pledge off for now, because Energy Ball is just the better move. Grass Pledge is really good when Ashley's nearby, but Ashley is not nearby. Ashley is at home. If we can avoid fighting you, we will. We did. Good. Okay. 28th floor. We are still going strong. A Max Elixir. Let's use that. Nice, 2 energy balls in a row. I really like it when we get the special defense drop, and then we get the 2 in a row with that. Okay, let's use that on Biolante, why not? Oh! Oh, we one-shot that one. Nice. We don't need that tiny apple right now. Inventory space is a precious resource. Okay. This is good Petal Blizzard territory, actually. Steamroll means that the Grimer won't resist it, but I guess we'll just miss instead. Honestly, because we have Steamroll, Vulpix is actually doing some decent damage. What is that item? A Nullify Bandana, we don't need one of those. Again, we don't really have any Pokemon with detrimental abilities. I can think of, like, Regigigas would be really good with it. I mentioned Slacking. But there really aren't that many Pokemon out there with detrimental abilities, so... Again, it could be something maybe you could throw to an enemy. Cause them to use it. But then there are Nullify Orbs for that, so I guess not. Deep Sea Floor we do not have. Sorry, Cabatops, you can't tag along. Another tiny apple. An Inviting Orb makes it easier to befriend Pokemon you've battled. I don't really think I need that right now, because we can't really recruit anything in this dungeon. I like the item, and I would hold on to it, but I just don't have the inventory space right now. Carvanha is the first of these that we've seen in this dungeon. Bit of a surprise to see a new Pokemon this deep in. Especially one like Carvanha. I feel like as you go deeper, they tend to be stronger Pokemon. Carvanha is not necessarily one of those. Okay, Pricious, step up and take the hit here, please. Oh, it's only Leer. Okay. I say it's only Leer. I feel like stat changes in this game are more extreme than they are in the main series. It certainly feels more impactful to have a single stage lowered or increased. 1 Room Orb. You know what? I'm going to use this. I don't know if I ever actually used one of these in Explorers of Sky. I like the concept. It destroys all walls on the floor, turning it into one big room, which gives us visibility on the entire floor. Meaning we know immediately where the stairs are, and where all the items and enemies are. Which is pretty cool. Discord, you can take this money. What is that all the way over there? A Seadra with Bubble Beam. I think we can reach you with Energy Ball. We don't have Energy Ball PP. Let's restore that. Max Ether. Precious. Go. It missed. Of course it missed. That does so much damage. Overgrowth time. I do like to live dangerously. An escape orb. We'll hold on to it for the moment. Again, something I kind of wish we had more of. I also wish that Discord had a move that could attack from range that isn't discharged, like a single target move, like Sludge Bomb or Energy Ball. Oh no, loot. Okay. Let's swap out the Tiny Apple and eat it immediately. Also, I find it strange that there is a specific underfoot menu when you can just get to underfoot from going into your inventory. Who needs this? Pricious needs this. Don't you crit me, thank you very much. It's not what I need right now. Okay, we are actually now further into this dungeon than we were the last time. We got to the 32nd floor. So I'm gonna call this a success. There are still 8 more floors that could completely demolish me, but so far, we are doing all right. Not perfect, but better. And I will take better. Doing this dungeon, though, and having it take as long as it has taken, I do now have to consider whether I want to uphold what I said previously about keeping all of the main dungeons in, because, yeah, we're at 50 minutes now on this recording. That's a very long video in one dungeon. So let me know what you think in the comments. Should I cut down even the main story dungeons at this point, since we are now in the post-game? I say main story dungeons, the main dungeons. Violante, can you take the hit here? That actually reminds me of something else I was going to talk about, which was evolution, which I briefly mentioned in the last part when we unlocked the ability to evolve. I said that I would at least evolve other party members, but not necessarily Pricious and Ashley. I might have to go back on that as well, because it certainly feels like we're a little bit too frail at the moment, and I think evolution increases your stats by a small amount, but increases HP by 10. And if we have 2 evolutions to go through, that's an increase of 20 HP, which really could make a difference in the long run. Alright, let's... yeah, let's do this. Okay, never mind, that did not work how I wanted it to work. Let me read that again. Waving at a Pokemon swaps the HP of you and that Pokemon. I suppose I'd already hit it once, so it only had a little bit of HP left. It was still a heal, technically. 35th floor. Almost there. There's a Flygon on this floor. As well as a Celio. First time we've seen one of these. Not a fan of ice types. That would be not good for Violante or Pricious. Ah, that's an Almaldo. Well, fortunately we have Steamroll. But I'm not gonna take the risk. As good as Steamroll, Energy Ball with Overgrowth would be, I don't want to use the last of our Reviver Seeds. When we're so close to the end as well. You know what? Something we haven't seen in a long time is the Kecleon Shop. I don't think we've seen one in any of the post-game dungeons yet. And it feels like it's been quite a long time since we've seen one just overall. Bye-bye, Celio, we can't recruit you. Whoa, a scope lens. Well, we don't need that. We'll be alright. Precious. Energy ball. Handle it. We picked up a scope lens, I think, the first time we went through this dungeon, so I've already got one. It would be nice for Ruby, since she has Super Luck and Night Slash. So, if we add Ruby back to the team at any point, that will be the item for her. I know I'm going with efficient bandanas on everybody at the moment. Certainly is the way to go for these longer dungeons. Because I think we would have probably burned through all of our PP restoration by now, if it wasn't for them. I say that as both Pricious and Biolante are out of PP for, I think it's Sludge Bomb. No Sludge Bombs, no Energy Balls. Okay. Oh, a Stormy. Stormy is a Pokemon I really like. It's not great, but it's not bad. And that's why I like it. It's pretty good all around. I used one in my first playthrough of Sapphire when I used all water types pretty much. And I also used one in a playthrough of, I think it was Ultra Sun, where I used a rain team. So I had a Starmie with Surf or something along those lines and Thunder, as well as a Drizzle Pelipper, and I had an Ampharos on the team as well, which is pretty fun. I definitely want this Fossil Orb. Lasso Orb gathers all enemies in the same room into one place and makes them stuck for a while. As cool as that sounds, I feel like a Fossil Orb is just better. Right then. Vulpix. Really don't want you out on your own like this. Energy Ball? Okay, handled it. Fortunately, hunger hasn't been a problem for us so far in this dungeon. We've had an appropriate amount of apples. Okay, this Pokemon will be targeted by enemies more than its teammates. It is a decoy. Okay, that's cool. But I'm just gonna Petal Blizzard you. There's an Almaldo down there that we will avoid. I've been trying to avoid combat as much as possible in this dungeon for the sake of saving time and for the sake of not using too many items and such. And I think we will continue that way. Ouch, lowered my special defense. Alright, I definitely think Precious needs a Max Elixir. Tentacruel developed a kinship. I'm afraid you cannot join the team, as much as I do like Tentacruel. That was another Pokemon I used on my original Sapphire team. I really liked water types as a kid. I mean, I still do like water types to a degree. I just like poison types more. Level 42 for Precious. The answer to life, the universe, and everything? Discharge, this will be good. It would be good if it didn't miss. Recover. Ah, well. That is kind of Starmie's thing. Recover from this. X-ray specs. We did get a pair from ranking up. I didn't bring them with me, though. Hey, it never hurts to have 2 pairs of X-ray specs. We'll swap out the tiny apple. In fact, we'll eat the tiny apple. Hello, Almaldo. Goodbye, Almaldo. Oh, 2 in a row. I have a feeling that's going to come back to bite me at some point. I'm going to be low on health with Discord. I'm going to use Wild Charge, thinking I have the ability to survive Natural Cure, kick in anytime you like. And then I'm going to get the double hit. And it's going to knock me out with recoil. I'm calling it now, so it will make it a lot less hilarious when it does happen. But it will. Yeah, the 2 hits feature is kind of cool. It certainly gives a bit more value to speed in this game, because it just straight up didn't exist in the old games. But there have been times where it's been like, I've not necessarily wanted it to happen. Vulpix, why are you like this? Again, fortunately, we have Switch of Wands for this. And she wasn't even in any threat range anyway. Well, Stormy wants to join the team, but I'm guessing, yeah, we can't recruit you. I went out of my way to look at the friend areas that I could buy before coming to this dungeon for a second time, but I just couldn't afford the ones that we're seeing here, things like Bountiful Sea, because they're like 9,000 Poke. I think the ones that have more Pokemon to recruit in them are more expensive. We will get more money as the game goes on, I don't doubt that, and we will be able to get the friend areas in due time, but I just bought the cheap ones because I felt it was better to have more cheap ones than one expensive one. But it would have certainly been nice to have one of these friend areas coming into this dungeon, just, you know, so we could actually recruit something. Tosser Orb, that's fine, we don't need that. We're gonna proceed. Right then. Stormy. Violante you can handle. Violante. Can't handle this because she doesn't have any PP. We don't actually have any max ethers anymore, we just have tons of max elixirs. That's fine. It's still gonna restore a fair amount of PP on her other moves, so she can handle this. Uh-huh. 39th floor. We're done. Well, we're not done, but we made it through the dungeon. My power is bursting. My infinite power. My duels against Groudon left us both exhausted. I took to a long and deep sleep. All this time I've waited for my power to recover. And now, I am on the verge of regaining my power. I am Kyogre, the Lord of the Sea. Witness the destructive force of my waves. Marvel at my awesome power. You are very loquacious compared to Groudon. Right then, drizzle time means it's raining. A strong current surges. Looks like we're gonna have some more mechanics. It's a Cataclysm. The dungeon's floor is submerged in water. No matter a Pokemon's type, it will be washed away to another place. All Pokemon except for water types will become slow. Not great. Okay then, so, before we do anything else, let's make sure everyone has the right moves turned on. And off, for that matter. No reason for Discord to use Fire Fang. No reason for Violante to use anything but Energy Ball. And as for Pricious, Sleep Powder might be nice, but I'll do that myself. We'll turn off Sludge Bomb. Energy Ball is the only move we need to use. Let's use an All Power Up Orb. Wait, let's not do it with Discord's turn, actually. Let's do it with Precious's turn, because she's so far away. All Power Up Orb, go. Go get him, guys. That's big damage. That's really big damage. Water Spout is also going to hurt a lot, though. Yeah, that did hurt a lot, actually. Well, that wasn't great. Bye, Vulpix. Well, fortunately, we have a Revival Orb, so let's use it. Hopefully it doesn't use Water Spout again, though, because Precious is not going to hang on for another turn. Hydro Pump. Vulpix is done again. This is not good. Go, Violante, go! Oh god, it's all gone horribly wrong. I should have used this Drought Orb. Man, that would have been a good idea. I should have used this all protect orb. That would have been good too. Not that I really had any options. I've had 2 turns. I used an all power up orb and a revival orb. I don't think there was really a good window to use anything else. Oh boy. I don't know, man. Like, I guess I could use a HP swap wand. Maybe it'll work. I doubt this is gonna work. Go! It's magic time. It missed. I'm gonna try it again. We have 1 more. Maybe it works, and then I feel like a galaxy brain genius. It didn't work. Alright, well, energy ball. Overgrow boost, 2 in a row. There's no way. There is no way that I do this. Oh my goodness. Nope. No! It was so close. I should have used an escape. Ooh. Yeah, I'll have someone rescue me, thanks. How to get rescued. I'm glad we're learning this now. To rescue teammates that have fainted in a dungeon, choose Friend Rescue from the main menu and then head to the developer post office. You can go on a rescue with Pokemon at camps or use the internet or a password to request a rescue from a friend. Cool. I'll do that. I'll do exactly that. I have someone in mind that I'm sure will be willing to help. Well, I sent out a request for help, and fortunately, it was responded to. A big thank you to Ozzy, who immediately jumped on this as soon as I asked him to rescue me, and had it done within 20 minutes. Very grateful for that. Thank you so much. We've received a report from Beans that the rescue mission is complete. Successful rescue on the 39th floor of Stormy Sea. Alright, now you can be revived. Okay, you'll continue on your adventure from the spot you were rescued at. Good luck, have fun! Oh my god, it puts me back into the dungeon! No, get me out! We don't have items. We don't have reviver seeds or anything of that effect. I'm getting out of here. Yes, I want to exit the dungeon. Oh, they sent me tiny reviver seeds. How nice of them. We escaped from Stormy Sea. Hey, we got an overheat TM. Nice. And a bronze dojo ticket. And low sweep and aerial ace TMs too. And we recruited Vulpix. And she will forever remain in Darkness Ridge as a reminder of what happens when you try to go to the Stormy Sea as a fire type. Oh my goodness. This video took 3.5 hours to produce, and we didn't get anything done. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and I will see you in the next video. Ha 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 ha.